Hi there, folks. Sean Broderick on the road again, but this time I'm in Boca Raton, which is close to my home anyway. And I am speaking to Russell Starr. He's from Auryn Resources, which, if you read the report that I sent you guys back in May when the publication first started, this is one of the companies that I picked as the 12 mining titans of tomorrow for a very good reason. This is an explorer with some really big projects. And they're getting bigger all the time. They have a very ambitious program to drill this summer, and so we could see some quite exciting news from them. Russell, could you please speak to my subscribers and just tell them about the company?
Sure. Obviously, a lot of very exciting things going on. I'll start with some of the key highlights. More recently, we literally just started our 25,000 meter drill program at Committee Bay. In total for the company over the next, call it 5 to 6 months, we're probably going to do closer to 70,000 meters, and that's of pure exploration drilling across 7 projects globally, 4 in Peru, 3 in Canada, and I should clarify that one of those projects will be purely till sampling. It's another greenstone belt we picked up in Nunavut. But why it's so exciting is in January we received a $40 million investment from Goldcorp, one of obviously the preeminent gold companies in the world, and that has given us the ability to pursue, I would argue, probably the most aggressive purely exploration drill program in the world. If anybody else can find one, please tell me and I'll invest in that company.
Okay, now there are many good reasons for Goldcorp to be excited in your company enough to invest. A Committee Bay has to be one. Could you explain a little of what you guys have found there already?
Sure. This is a 300 kilometer by about 50 kilometer greenstone belt littered with gold all over it. One point I should make, and it's probably very important for all of you potential investors, and that is we actually have Newmont's former exploration team working for us. How do you tackle a belt the size of basically the distance from New York to Boston? You need a technical team that's preeminent, and that would be the Newmont guys. Literally, the technical presentation would take close to 4 hours. I'm going to simplify it. Every single one of these technical consultants or specialists from Newmont, they're like the Mayo Clinic. So you go in and you're not feeling well or you're looking to find something, you go see every subspecialty of doctor and they come out with a prognosis or a plan. We've literally done that for this greenstone belt. We've isolated the 17 highest probability targets for finding gold. Obviously, the best precursor for finding gold is actually having gold on surface. Inuk, it's in the top, call it northeast area of the belt. There are grab samples of close to 8,000 grams per ton, or 8 kilos. Those are off the Richter scale grades. There's a drill hole hanging in space of 16 meters of 12 grams per ton. We're obviously following up on that. But we literally will have 4 rigs turning for the entire summer at Committee Bay. If you go look at our presentation, you'll see some slides that will help you understand the size of it. But each one of these targets, call it Inuk, is literally the size of Manhattan. And like I said, having high-grade gold all over it. And that's what excites majors today, is being able to find gold and owning a belt that could give for decades. Literally a major, if we do our job correctly and they acquire us, could operate on this one greenstone belt and find millions of ounces of gold.
That would be exciting enough.
Yeah.
And yet, you also have Homestake Ridge. Let's tell them about that, too.
Homestake was a very interesting company, very, very high grade. It's at the bottom of the Golden Triangle, not all that far from Pretium. The discovery hole on that land package was 73 meters of 21 grams per ton gold. By any standard, one of the best holes or better holes out there in the world. Stock actually went as high as $20. Like many juniors out there, though, people tell them to focus on 43-101s. I'm going to be the guy to go out there and say that maybe the 43-101 isn't the metric you should be looking at. You should be looking at what a major wants, because our end buyer is a major. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily our investors, although we love to have you buy our company. We and you want us to sell our company to a major. So you look for opportunities where there's 1 million ounces of 9 grams per ton, which is what we have at Homestake. But there's some challenges, and as a result of the challenge, we were able to acquire it literally a year ago, almost now, for about 17 cents per share or $8 million. And at, I think, the market high, at a $20 stock price. I think it was close to $100 or $150 million market cap.
It is a wild roller coaster of the market, and you have to seize those opportunities when they come up. Now, Homestake is a project that's actually close to the coast, so it's not far from things.
Homestake is the closest to a PEA or PEA ready of any of the assets that we have. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a PEA on it, call it within a year, probably sooner than that. We're going to start drilling at Homestake July 15th. We're going to do another 15,000 meters there. We believe that we can double or triple that resource, and 3 million ounces of 9 gram per ton gold in BC, 6 kilometers away from deepwater port, power infrastructure close by. That's a very, very economic deposit that would be appealing to almost any company out there. Maybe not the big majors, but some of the mid-tiers and smaller majors, and maybe even a major, possibly.
Some people might wonder why you actually drill at like multiple places, not really focused on one. Could you explain that?
Well, when a major takes 12.5% of your company, which is what Goldcorp took when they invested their $40 million. And importantly, I want to point out as well, management owns 18.5%, and we will not let anybody own more than that unless they actually want to buy the entire company. I think that's
because then they'd have to declare.
Yeah, that's important for your subscribers. We want to do, and we call it keeping all of our projects live. We believe that we are of, call it the best 5 projects in the world. We're in that top 5 for potential acquisition near term. The way that we monetize the highest value for our shareholders and for ourselves as large shareholders is to make sure that we're drilling and trying to create value on all of our projects. So we start Committee Bay now, we start Homestake in, call it a month, and then we start Peru in September. And that way, if in October or November we've hit at Homestake, which I really believe is a high probability, we've hit at Committee Bay in multiple areas, which again I believe is a very high probability, we're extracting value from a major who tries to acquire us. And similarly, we will be drilling Peru, and we have 4 projects down in Peru. We'll be drilling at least 2 of them. That will be live as well and be able to create value and possibly extract another $1 or $2 for shareholders.
Let's talk about, since you just brought it up, Peru just for a little bit. You're on some major trends down there, right?
Yeah. I'm always asked what my favorite project is, and I jokingly say, or we jokingly say amongst management, that's like asking someone who their favorite child is. I'll change it a little bit differently. The project that keeps me up at night is Sombrero. That's the northernmost project that we have. It's on trend with an area or an asset called Las Bambas, which was bought by China MMG from Glencore for multiple billions, $5.8 billion. We have found very high-grade gold, very high-grade copper, and we're talking like 6-7 gram per ton gold, upwards of 16% copper at surface. And we've identified multiple other clusters around what we already own. What you do as a smart junior, or if you're thinking like a major, is you stop doing everything you're doing and you start acquiring all the land around it, which is what we're doing.
Great. There is so much to like about this company. That's why I put it in the report originally. Definitely have to follow it more closely, and I will send you guys more information on it. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
The only thing I'd like to add is maybe an anecdote for all of your subscribers. We use it in-house, and it's a great thing to look at when you're looking at investing in anything. Grade is king, oxide is queen, so you're either looking for high-grade gold, call it in the north, which I would say arguably is the hottest jurisdiction in the world right now. That's Canadian gold, which we have a lot of, or lower-grade oxide, which is queen. And then you also want to make sure that every dollar that a company raises, as much as possible, is going into the ground. We're very proud to say that 90 cents of every dollar we raise goes into the ground. So you're looking at us adding value for you, not keeping our lights on or paying ourselves.
Right. They are spending the money on actual exploration, assets, not yachts. So that is a really good point to make. So, I like this company. And it's in a great, well, it's actually in great multiple parts of the world, but I really like what's happening up north. And they have enormous potential, and certainly one that we need to take a closer look at. Stay tuned. I'll have more for you. This is Sean Broderick, and speaking to Auryn Resources. Russell, thanks very much for speaking to my subscribers.
Thank you very much.
You folks stay tuned.